Hi, I'm Grace and welcome back to part 2 of making my Mardi Gras outfit. If you haven't seen part 1 and want to see the whole process of me making this outfit, I'll link part 1 in the description. As a reminder, my goal is to make a top and shorts set and also have some matching accessories, maybe a hat, maybe a bag, something like that. So where we left off, I had just started making a second top because I didn't quite like the fit of the first top that I had chosen. So let's rewind to, I don't know what, 2 weeks ago. It is my lunch break now. I think I will continue making this backup top. I've already made one cup, so I might as well commit. I'm not following any sort of pattern for this. This is just a regular double crochet granny triangle. The way I started it off was with a magic ring and then doing 5 double crochets, chain 2, 5 double crochets, chain 2, 5 double crochets, chain 2. So there's 3 sides with 5 double crochets and then 2 chains in between each side. And then I'm just going around and around into each double crochet, and in the chain 2 spaces I'm doing 2 double crochets and then chaining 2 and doing another 2 double crochets. So if you want to make something similar, that's how I started off mine. I wanted to start off with a bigger stitch count. Normally you would start off with like 3 double crochets per side instead of 5, but I wanted it to be bigger, so that's that. I'm gonna listen to some YouTube videos and work on the other cup. Should be pretty quick.
My uncle is a businessman that makes his money by buying foreclosed or derelict commercial properties in and around the Chicagoland area and essentially flipping them by turning them back into either functional businesses or renovated commercial buildings. As it is common knowledge amongst my family that I am heavily invested in paranormal research, he brought the complaints to me mostly
making them, but when she looked over at my bed, I was completely still. I wasn't moving. It scared her, and it took her a while to get back to sleep. And then, a few days later, I was taking a nap alone in the room, and I woke up hearing sheets of paper falling over and over. Totally freaked me out. So yeah, don't taunt the ghosts there. They will taunt you back. Ooh, so I feel like that's maybe karma, like if I stay there now, because I was kind of messing around with the elevator.
I would want to get back in it.
One more story for you, Morgan.
Okay.
This is from a listener named Cheyenne, and it's called My Nana's House is Haunted. Hi, my name is Cheyenne, and this is the story of my Nana's haunted house. I'm a new listener, and your podcast is my favorite. I thought you would find my experience with paranormal interesting. To start from the beginning, my grandparents, aunt, parents, and myself all moved into a 2-story house in 4 Oaks, North Carolina to take care of my great-grandma who had dementia back in 2013. When we moved in, it was amazing, and we were all together, and it was plenty of space for us and our horses. However, it did not take long at all to start noticing something was off. The house was not an old house. We were only the second family to live in it, and the old owners only moved out. History they wanted you to forget, you're in the right place. You are just like me. So make sure you subscribe to this channel because we upload once a week. It's when your heart starts pounding. 9 a.m., March 22nd, 2011. A large cruise ship would have understood the inner workings of the ship very well because she had worked on this boat in some capacity since 2010, which was the year before her disappearance. Then she was hired as a youth worker, basically a camp counselor of sorts. She was originally from Liverpool and had studied in...
And the second cup is all done. Like I said, works up pretty quickly. Now I just need to do a single crochet row around the edge. I'm going to do a single crochet row, and then when I get to the corner I'm going to chain for the strap, slip stitch back down, single crochet, chain for the other strap. That's how I'm also going to join them as well. So I'll single crochet down the bottom and then join it to this triangle. It's a really simple design, so shouldn't take too long to finish it, and hopefully I'll like it. But now I do have to get back to work, so I will see you after work at around 6 p.m. It is now 9 o'clock and she's done! Except for like 1 or 2 ends to weave in. I haven't done them all. I don't know why, I did half of them and then just have this one left. But otherwise, she's all done and she's looking pretty cute. I have already tried it on and let me tell you, I'm liking it. I finished work around 6 o'clock and then went straight to the gym with Luca because we had a dinner tonight with his family and we wanted to go to the gym before that, so we've been rushing around, you know, gym for an hour, come home, shower, get changed and go straight away. So I probably got back maybe half an hour ago, but I did take this with me just to do the joining round and the chains and weave in some of my ends. This is a really quick top to make, just 2 triangles and then join them together with a single crochet. I did also add an extra row of single crochet down the V-neck because I noticed it was like separating too much and I wanted to just tighten that up. And I did put a decrease in the middle of the V to just bring it closer together and make it a bit tighter around my bust. So now it fits great and I'll try it on for you and show you what it looks like with my shorts. And top number 2 is done. I love this one so much more. I think it fits me better. It doesn't make me look like a square. I think top number 2 is the way to go. I'm kind of annoyed that I did the other one because this is literally just 2 triangles, but I still really like the other one. I think this one is really cool looking. I love the colors, I love the hearts. Just doesn't suit me that well. So I think I'll list this one on my Etsy, or if anyone watching this is interested and you don't see it on Etsy, then you can DM me on Instagram if you want it. I just had dinner so I feel very bloated, but again, the shorts, very cute, very cute. And I think as a fit, not bad, you know. It kind of reminds me of the vintage bikinis, minus the lace-up sides, but you know, it's kind of giving that silhouette. I think I'm gonna go with this top. At least that was a success. My first full success of this video. Let me know what you think. Let me know what top you think looks better. I'm gonna sit up and chill. Maybe I'll crochet, but I don't know. It's 9 o'clock, so I'm gonna get ready for bed, do my nighttime things, and I'll see you tomorrow. It's the next morning and I did start on the hat yesterday. I have done all the increases for the top of the bucket hat and I've done 2 rows of the sort of length of the hat that'll come down my head. Yeah, it looks great. I'm hoping this sort of rippliness will calm down once I get more length on the hat and I can like mold it around my head, but we'll see. I love these colors. I'm using Premier Yarns Parfait Chunky. I don't remember the color names. I think the purple is called Iris and I think the pink might be called Hot Pink, but I'm not sure. I have just been freehanding this. I'm not really following a particular pattern. I'm just increasing until the circumference matches the circumference of my head. And to check that, I calculated the diameter needs to be about 7 inches. So I just increased until the diameter of the circle was 7 inches. And then now I'm just crocheting, no increases, just straight down. So I'm going to listen to a podcast until I gotta start work.
Not like 2 days.
We did.
But fresh minds.
If your bag isn't dripping, you're not shipping.
Oh, my god, okay. That's
what
such a thing to understand.
When we open our fish and chip shop, that's what it's going to say on the bag.
When we open Dan and Phil's flip-flopping chips. Yeah.
Flip-flopping chips.
Yeah.
That was less articulate.
Flips, fish and chips. There you go.
Can't wait for that.
I thought about it. No, I don't think we should open a retail business.
Why?
You work in customer service. Do you think you could take an order? Do you think you could use a till?
Some people are just in their own zone. They go, oh, thanks, love, and then they realise as a man.
Yeah. Thanks, love.
Thanks, love.
And didn't you have like a pre-puberty answering the phone for your dad thing? Where they'd be like, oh, hi, Mrs. Lester. And you go, no, it's Phil!
Yes.
Yeah.
That was also a thing. But you know what else is a thing? Here's the thing. Hot damn, look at that hog.
Oh, not hog talk.
Back on hog talk. Punxsutawney Phil, the groundhog,
Oh my god, yep.
has seen his shadow, and we're going to get another 6 weeks of winds.
For fuck's sake.
It is now my lunch break. I only really managed to do 2 rounds this morning, but to be fair, I only had like 10 minutes, so that's okay. I think I'm gonna keep going with the pink a little bit more, and then I'll change to purple again.
Their own little investigation where they found 2 sold-out Melania opening day screenings. Of the 1,400 showtimes that they looked at, the vast majority of those had open seats. Some of them were definitely fuller than others, but who was lining up to watch this? I wouldn't even pirate this movie to watch it. Here, you know what? I'm going to show you what the theater looks like that's near me. If I wanted to hop off of this stream right now and watch Melania later in the evening, it's Saturday, I would only have to contend.
Faces were completely frozen with looks of terror, their glossy eyes wide open and their mouths all gaping in silent screams. The bodies had no installment in our Dark Summer series. Today we are going to be talking about a modern-day ghost ship. Now, maybe you've heard of the Mary Celeste, which was a ship found at sea in 1872 with no signs of a crew. Or maybe you listened to our episode about the Great Lake Mysteries, where I told you the tale of the Roosevelt schooner, another boat that was found destroyed with no sign of a crew anywhere. These all feel like relics of the past, like something that could never happen today.
I have done some of the purple rose, and again, I'm thinking this might be too big. Like, when I put this on, it's got so much wiggle room, so it's not really stretching over my head and like staying on. And if I like shake my head, it like stays in place. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't, it like wiggles a lot. I think it's too big. I don't know what is with me in this video where I keep making things too big. I'm at a point where I can still pull it back and it won't be quite so devastating. It does mean I have to frog this polyester yarn, which sucks. But yeah, I think I'm gonna pull back just 1 row of increases and continue on. Yeah, I'm really annoyed with myself for that. But that's my lunch break over, so that totally wasted my time. I'm gonna have to deal with this after work, so I'll see you then. It is now 8:30 p.m. and I am back to where we left off, a little bit past actually. I pulled back the hat and removed just 1 round of increases. So now I have 7 increase rounds instead of 8. If you want to know what I did, I started off with 10 single crochets in a magic ring, and then just did increase rows until it met the circumference of my head, which now I realize should have been a little bit less because I think this yarn is bulky and stretchy, so the side actually comes out more. So if you're doing this, maybe just do 1 less row than you think you need. And then I'm just working single crochet rounds all the way down, no increases or decreases. And I'm actually up to the brim. You know when to stop when the hat part touches the top of your ears. That's when you should come out for the brim. Looks like, what hat is this? Is this a thing? Like a fez? I don't think it's a fez. But it reminds me of a fez like this. But anyway, touching the top of my ears, and I have done the first increase row for the brim. I'm working the first row of the brim in the front loops only. This makes it fan out a little bit more, and I'm working an increase row as if I was continuing on from the increases here. So my last increase row on the top of the hat, I did 5 single crochets and then increased. So when I picked up for the brim, I'm doing 6 single crochets and then increasing. And then every row after that I'm gonna be continuing to increase so that it fans out nicely. We're nearly done. I'm gonna watch some YouTube and hopefully finish the brim tonight.
Big designers and publications. Vogue, British Vogue, Dazed, another glamour Miu Miu Prada. Our girlie Mia was getting high fashion recognition from the greats. Around the same age, she also began auditioning for acting roles and booked her first major gig, crime thriller The Tunnel. Before we get into the reason we're all here, her horror career, We'll jump ahead to a few bullet points on her personal life as an adult.
I think I'm gonna try to drink coffee tomorrow. And Caesar was like, that's a good idea. I just remembered. So I'm gonna go make myself coffee. Oh. I don't actually like the taste of coffee at all. I think it tastes bitter and nasty. So I buy myself these great value cappuccino K-cups. And I think they taste good. So I don't actually know how much real coffee they have in them. Or did I film any of that? Who knows? Not me. Here's our first purple project of the day finished. So the colors that we used are Orchid, and then this one was Blackcurrant from Peaches and Cream. Regular cups, half double crochets in the bottom with a solid row and then a spaced row. And then at the top right here,
I have done 4 rounds for the brim. So I'm gonna try it on and see if I like the width of the brim, see if it comes out enough. I haven't weaved in my hands. Oh my god. Yeah, it's pretty cute. And now when I shake my head, it doesn't swivel. It actually stays. It actually stays in place pretty well. I think I will put some bobby pins through the stitches. That's the best part about a crochet hat. You can bobby pin it to your head so that if you're going to be dancing or if it's windy, it won't fly away. I did that with my clown costume on the second party that I went to, because the first party I went to, it just kept flopping around. But then yeah, for the second party, freaking bobby pinned it to my head, didn't move an inch. It was perfect. So yeah, I'll probably do that for this, but I digress. This looks so freaking cute. The brim turned out unintentionally wavy. I guess I was increasing too much, but that's okay. I still really like the wavy brim. I might actually just leave it like that. I'm not bothered to undo all my work to make it straight. I was intending to make it just a straight brim, but I think this is even more adorable. So I think I'm gonna leave it like that. I can't decide if I want to do one more row for the brim or if I just want to leave it as is. I kind of like the short little ruffled brim. How many times can I say brim? And I also like the color ratio from the blue to the pink. It's only 1 extra row than what I did at the pink, so it's even mostly. So I don't know if I want to mess that up. It's not incredibly short. What I might do is leave this yarn attached and think on it a little bit more. The next question I have about this hat is, do I leave it like this? Originally I wanted to make a bear bucket hat, so it'll have little bear ears, which I still think is really cute, but at the same time this hat on its own is cute. Oh, also I'm leaning so far forward because I'm looking at myself in the camera screen, so sorry for scaring you. I think I'm gonna just not do anything and wait until Luca comes home and see what he thinks. I think I am leaning towards no ears and no extra row on the brim. I think I'm pretty happy with it just as it is. I don't know. I'm gonna take a break, wait for Luca to come home, and let you know what the verdict is. And we are back to where the intro left off, I guess. Mardi Gras is over for me. The outfit is done. So let's see the final ensemble, I guess. After a brief discussion with Luca, he encouraged me to be my lazy little self and finish the hat where we had left off. I didn't do any more rows on the brim and I didn't do bear ears. I just thought it was cute enough as is, and I stand by that. I'm pretty happy with how the hat looks. I think it's cute. I think it's little, and the little ruffliness is adorable. And I got complimented on it on the night of Mardi Gras, so it can't be that bad, right? So this is the finished hat, Now, the day I finished this hat was maybe a week before we were gonna go on holiday to Nelson's Bay with some friends, and I was like, I'm all done. My Mardi Gras outfit is done. I can put it in the cupboard until I get home and have a great night out at the Mardi Gras parade. But there was this nagging thought at the back of my head that just really could not let go, the fact that the shorts were too big. So yes, I pulled the shorts apart and made these shorts for the 3rd time. Now, if I had just listened to my original self and said trust the process, I would have had a perfectly fitted pair of shorts on the 1st try. Because what I did was I pulled the shorts apart, I pulled apart the front panel, and redid it with a tighter tension, just as I had done the first time. And that's the only thing I did different. Everything else was the same. I didn't even take apart the back panel. I just disconnected them and redid the front panel. Sometimes follow the pattern. It'll save so much time. I made these shorts 3 times and got 1 pair of shorts out of it. Through no fault of the pattern designer, by the way. Just me and my brain thinking that I knew better when I did not. These are the finished shorts, and you'll notice my stitches for the front panel are nice and tight, and they look really good. And when I put them on, they did look really good. Same with the crop top. I didn't make any changes since the last recording. The top was finished, that was great. This worked out so well first try, which was fantastic. And then on my holiday, I brought along some projects with me, one of which being this mesh market bag. I have been watching Passionate Kelsey for quite a long time, and she has been obsessed with making these bags, and her obsession inspired my own obsession, because they are really fun to make and they're so practical. When I'm bothered to bring my Etsy back to life, I'll probably start selling these, which will be really fun. But yeah, I brought this purple yarn with me on holiday. Originally, I didn't know if I was going to keep it or not. I was thinking maybe I'll save it for when I revive my Etsy or just give it to someone, but purple's my favorite color, so I kept it. And then on the night of Mardi Gras, I used this to go with my outfit to hold all of my belongings. You know, I had to bring a big jacket because it was kind of rainy and cold that night, and I also brought some drinks and my phone and everything. So yeah, I just piled everything into here and it was fantastic, and it matched my outfit so well because this purple color that I used for the straps is actually the exact same purple color I used for my top and shorts. That worked out excessively well. I have some pictures from the night. They're a little bit grainy because we kind of forgot about the fact that photos exist. You can tell in the photos that the shorts fit so much better. The laced up sides actually have a proper gap. They're not like stuck together and too big and loose, and there's none of that weird buckling happening, which was really annoying me, especially when I was editing that part of the video. That just made me sad to look at, and I can't believe I was thinking of leaving it like that. But I didn't leave it like that. My inner perfectionist took over and I redid the entire thing. Yeah, I just had such a great time and people were really fun and nice, and I got a lot of compliments on my hat and my outfit, which was sweet. I did take some videos of the parade that we can check out now.
it's just a wicked old word. If you gotta get a love, then something's gotta hit it right on the nose. So if you're really getting exactly what...
And that is all for this video. I had so much fun making this outfit, even though there was some trial and error, a lot of error. I still really love making outfits for themed events. It's just so fun to wear something that you've made yourself. My dream since I was a kid was to be able to make my own clothes and make my own plushies. So I would say as an adult, I am living my childhood dreams. I love the outfits that I have been able to create with my hands from scratch using string. It's just awesome. It's so fun. And thank you to anyone who is watching these videos. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you enjoyed watching me stumble through the process of making another really fun outfit. But that is all I have for today, so bye!